Welcome everyone to another episode of Sin Permiso, a Latina lifestyle podcast. And many times it's a real estate podcast. Today I have Evan Russell with me. Evan is the VP of all of the agent development at Century 21 Northeast. But what I really like about Evan is he's down to earth. He'll tell it like it is. He's got the Northeast grit. Today we're going to talk about real estate, do's and don'ts, and maybe a bunch of other bullshit. But here we are, Evan. Thank you for being on Sin Permiso.
Love being here. Thank you very much.
Evan is a coach for real estate as well because Evan's been there. Evan's done that. He's seen realtors.
20 years.
20 years. Wow.
20 years.
He's seen realtors and agents make it, not make it, spend money, not make money, make stupid mistakes. So let's start off, Evan. I want to know what is like the stupidest things that you've seen realtors do?
Oh, there's so much. So let me just rewind real quick. So I started at discount brokerage, full service 3%. So I was hated from the start. That was in Jersey, South Jersey, right outside Philadelphia. Then I came to Boston with realestate.com, which is sister company of LendingTree, right? LendingTree,
we all know LendingTree.
When banks compete you in, they had leads. They started realestate.com. So for a year or so, I was brought from Philly to here to run that out of Woburn. I left there, can I say it?
Yes.
I was with EXP for a year.
Oh, boo.
I know, but if I would have stayed, I'd be a millionaire. But I didn't. I went off and did Russell Realty Group for 6 years. Got big enough. I owned an ERA franchise, which is sister company to Century 21, right? Did that for a bunch of different years. Had a tragic accident. Got out of that. Went back to Russell Realty Group, and then decided I was alone. Right? I had 35 agents or so, but I was sitting in the office all day by myself, and I wanted some company.
Where the hell were the agents?
Yeah, we'll talk about it, right? They weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's for darn sure. So I reached out to a bunch of different people. Century 21 Northeast called me, and within a couple of days, I was here. So I'm excited to be here. It's a good group. It's done nothing but growth since I've been here. So I do, to answer your question, I do see a lot of stupid stuff. And I see a lot of stuff that I just can't believe that people charge, 6%, 5%, 4% for just the ineptitude of things they do.
You made a comment the other day about why NAR had to settle. Why we have this litigation pending against us realtors regarding buyer agents. Repeat that comment.
So it's a little bit of a longer comment, but this is what happened, right? This is fact. And then it turned into where we are. Buyer went to an open house on Sunday, looked at the house on Sunday, called the agent at 3:30, said, "Hey, Peggy, write the offer for me." Peggy said, "What do you want to offer?" "Well, I want to offer 510, $10,000 appraisal gap, waive the home inspection, close in 30 days, send the offer over." So Peggy calls her transaction coordinator. The transaction coordinator types the offer, sends it to the buyer, doesn't explain it to him. "Here, sign this." The buyer sends it back. Peggy takes credit for it, sends it to the listing agent. Listing agent accepts your offer, and the seller's like, "What the fuck did the buyer do?"
Nothing.
Nothing. Why am I paying the buyer $10,000? Right? 2% of 500, right? $10,000. How do you get there? What am I paying them for? And that seller talked to the other seller, to the other seller, to the other seller, to the called lawyer. Here we are. That is stone cold exactly why we're here. Because the sellers are like, what are these buyer agents doing? They're taking the orders. They're doing no buyer agency. They're just taking the orders and they're expecting to make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And it looks so easy. And for you and I, who've been doing it 20-something years.
That's where I was going with this. People like you and I who've been doing this for 20-something years, who actually educate our buyers, who nurture these buyers for 6 months or a year, who send them to the best programs for first-time home buyers, that explain the contract, that actually go with them to the open houses. It makes us look bad. And you know what? Realtors, we've had a bad rep for a very long time.
Agreed.
Attorneys don't like us. A lot of other people don't like us because they think we make too much money. But yes, there have been these realtors or these agents that pop up in the past couple of years because people like you and I make it look really darn easy.
This is what the attorney said. The attorney said, in Massachusetts, if you represent a seller, it's about $1,500. Okay? So if you're a seller's agent and you charge 2% of a $500,000 house, you make $10,000. Never mind your split, right? We'll leave the split out of it. Mm-hmm. So you're making approximately 800% of what the attorney makes, and the attorney's been schooled this much, and we've been schooled very little. But the fact is, the attorney needs us, right?
Of
the
course,
attorney can't
we're the rainmakers.
Right,
we make it happen.
But they're looking at us like, dude, you're making 10 grand, and I'm making 1,500, and you don't know the difference between an addendum and an amendment. right? You don't know, right?
I used to think that it was the attorneys that were being racist against the Latina realtor because, I was a woman. And nowadays I realize they were an asshole to everyone.
They're an asshole to everyone. They're an asshole to everyone. And they're just upset because we're, not giving it any kind of effort and we're making money, especially if you fast forward or you rewind back into the COVID years where we were just order taking 100,000 over, waive home inspection, appraisal gap waiver, close in 30 days. What were we doing? And worse than that is the buyer was picking the house. Peggy, take me to see South Street.
I already
and you
drove
showed
by.
Up, and that
I
was
already
it.
saw it from the outside.
Yeah.
Or the buyer was going to view it at an open house without you because they sometimes, let's be honest, they go there and even tell you they're going to show up and they show up.
No.
But people like us have made this look like a phenomenal business. I know, you people make, oh, Peggy, you're always traveling. Blah, blah, blah. They don't know I've been busting my ass since I was 14. And also I've been in real estate since I was 18. And I also did what I was supposed to do, right? I wasn't just supposed to sell houses. I was supposed to buy houses. But we've created this whole generation of people who watch $1 Million Listing and they think it's easy and they get in the business and then they realize it's actually hard work.
Well, you know what the hardest part of this business is? Answer the question for me. What's the hardest part of this business?
I would say staying consistent.
No. The hardest part of this business is finding someone to talk to. Finding a buyer or a seller who wants to talk to you. And then when you get that opportunity to talk to them, being articulate, know what you're doing. Okay, Evan, I'd like you to come list my house, but I interviewed XYZ already. Can you just tell me real quick what you're going to do? And you know what they say? Well, I'm going to put it in the MLS, and I'm going to have some open houses, and I'm going to take some pictures, and I'm going to charge you 5%.
Exactly.
And the sellers are like, right? So
what makes you different?
So what we do, we talk a little bit about my coaching. I do 3 live coaching classes a week minimum. I do a lot of coaching on the side with individuals. But on my Wednesday advanced lead generation class, which is Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, if you'd like to join, meetwithevan.com, you're welcome to join. We do advanced lead generation, and we talk about, so if someone, we did some role playing on Wednesday. If someone says, Peggy, I want you to come to my house, just do me real quick. What are you going to do differently than the guy I just interviewed yesterday? What's your
That's
answer?
the question. Oh, my question is, listen, knowledge and experience cannot be improvised. What I bring to the table is 28 years of knowledge, and my track record speaks for itself. I will get you the most for the house. I will do it professionally, and I will make sure that this transaction is smooth.
Okay, that's one way. All right, ask me.
Evan, what are you going to do different than the ladies that came yesterday? There was 3 of them.
Professional pictures, professional floor plan, video, custom website.
Tech. That's your edge, Evan. Your edge is tech. I can talk a great game.
So let me tell you this, right? And I have this example all the time. I put a .com on every one. So one of the things about this, I coach, but I also sell. So I'm in the game. I've had sellers tell me to get lost. I've had a difficult price reduction over here in Malden. She dropped 110. No one came, whatever. So I'm in the field, right? I'm not a guy from yesterday.
You're in the trenches.
I'm in the trenches today. I just hung a pending sign today myself. I didn't call a sign company. I went out and did it myself. So we have these conversations, right? Where was I going with this? I don't even know where I was going with this.
No, about what's going to make you different in
tech. Right? So you have the sign, right? And the sign has most signs say 1-800 on number on them, right? Because the agents are too cheap to buy a custom sign with their phone number on it. So they call their broker and they put the 1-800 number on it. So what do the clients do? Yeah, I'm at the Blue House. It's on I don't know. I think it's Market Street, but there's a sign in front of it, and the call center's like, I don't know, right?
We have over 250 listings.
But let me ask you a question. What if the sign said, I won't use the address, 52mainstreet.com on it, right? And not a QR code, because no one's going to get out their phone and scan a stupid QR code.
It's easy enough to remember.
Right. QR codes came back with COVID because nobody wanted to touch the menus, right? That's why QR codes came back. But they're silly, right? And remind me to come back to QR codes. But you go to the .com, 54mainstreet.com, you can see it all. Price, pictures, floor plan, video, it's all right there. And if someone's interested, contact the box. You've got yourself an opportunity. If they call 1-800, they're getting the call center. Who the hell knows where that lead goes?
Nobody has information.
That lead may not know where they're going, but they say, listen, I'm looking in Peabody, and the call center calls up a Peabody agent and says, I got a lead that came in at Peabody, would you like to take it? But it came off someone else's sign. And you can't even capture your own business because you don't want to spend $50 for a sign, you don't want to spend $10 for a rider, $12 for a .com, and Century 21 and most companies give you the property website. You can do better, but they give you one for free. That's what I'm talking about, right? Or you could go this route. If you know anybody buying or selling, give me a call.
Simple.
You can go that route, and ain't nobody gonna call you.
Nope.
ain't nobody gonna call you.
Nope. It is about word of mouth, and it is about referrals, right? And like I said, it's very easy for someone like us to say this is how you get business because we've been doing it. We've done it. If you're a brand spanking new agent, you just got your license, what are 3 things that you would tell them to do?
Depends on what brokerage they're with and what tools they have. So if we talk about our brokerage,
Let's talk about our brokerage.
We've got something called Neighborhood News. Neighborhood News is going to send a monthly report on a zip code to your prospect or your homeowner. So the first thing you do is you make a list of who you know that owns homes. And then you put them on that Neighborhood News, and every month you're hitting them, right? Which is the Brian Buffini, which is the Constant Contact, which is the Monthly Touch, which is all the fundamental basics of prospecting. Hit somebody monthly. So take your friends and family and give them what? An item of value. This is what's happening in Revere. This is what's happening in North Miami. That's number 1, right? Number 2 is you got to buy a .com, because you can't take the business card that Century 21 gives you that says century21ne.com, because if I give you that business card, they go to century21ne.com, they register, they show up in Saugus, it goes to the lead center, it goes out to another agent, you've lost business.
Yep.
So before you order your business cards, you got to have a .com, and our company will provide you a website that works, right? So those are the first 2 things. The third thing is you need to develop some type of, I'm now in the business, this is what I can do for you, right? I'm a real estate agent. What does that mean? Can you help me sell in Peabody? Can you help me sell? Can you help me rent? Can you help me rent my space? Can you help me lease? Can you help me down the Cape? What does being a real estate agent really mean? Because we understand it, right? We're 20 years, but I don't understand how the car business works.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm not going to, but they don't understand what it really means. Oh, great, you're in real estate. You must make a whole bunch of money, right?
Now, social media, obviously everybody hears about social media. There's a lot of people out there that think that they can sell homes just with social media, and there has been people lucky enough to actually have that experience a few times. I think, for instance, in my case, one of the things that has kept me relevant and with the people that I started the business with, I actually was in an article featured called Don't Be a Real Estate Dinosaur.
Yep.
And part of not being a real estate dinosaur is being involved in social media. I was able to embrace it early on. I know you had a podcast, so I know you clearly believe in that. Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
My podcast was pretty cool. I think podcasts generally are too long. And if you don't have a spirited conversation like we're having now to keep people engaged, they're going to turn you off. They're not going to listen to a 30-minute podcast. So I invented the Russell Realty Minute. And my podcasts were literally 2.5 to 3 minutes. It was, this is what's happening. This is what's boom, 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 boom. You need something, let me know. And we went right through it. So for example, one of the ones I posted today was the truth about home valuation sites. Home valuation sites are great. They're easy, but they're automated. They're not accurate. And this is what you need to do to find an accurate value of your home. I won't use any words or anything like that so we get in trouble, but you go to these sites and they give you an automated value, and that's not right. So if you hit that with a quick 3 minutes, right? And you do it tricky. You do it via Zoom, because Zoom will record your video and will record your text, audio. So you get a video for YouTube and you get an audio for your podcast on the same recording. So if you do that and you sit in front of a Zoom and you talk for 3 minutes about your hot topic and you hit it and you split, Zoom will give you the audio, which you can upload to iTunes, or I use Spriker, but wherever you use, you upload the audio. Then you get the video for your YouTube channel. So you get 2 in 1. So then you go to Canva, you make yourself a nice cover page. And I think my YouTube channel is pretty slick. I don't get a whole lot of traction. I don't put a lot of money behind
You're
it.
super techie. Things are much easier for you.
But I mean, Zoom was a very easy thing, right?
Yeah.
You hit record, you talk, you hit stop, and it gives you the answers. It's not. I think that the people are afraid of technology, but it's really just super easy. So Russell Realty Minute is great. I've kind of come off it a little bit because I've kind of come off the street, and that was a very direct to consumer podcast. As a broker owner, I wasn't talking to agents, whereas now my message is how to help agents. Right, and I sell. I do 70% coaching and 30% selling. Right there, I was doing 80% selling, 20% coaching, because that's what being a broker owner is about. It's a whole different ball of wax.
Coaching. I know a lot of agents use coaches. A lot don't. I think coaching is super necessary, even if you only hire someone for a certain amount of months, a certain amount of time. A lot of realtors, sell 1 or 2 or 3 or under 10 homes, and then all of a sudden become gurus and coaches. Who would you follow on social media? Who are like someone that you think are realistic about selling, someone that has good tips, an ex or current realtor agent nationally or internationally that you look up to?
Okay, so answer your question 2 ways. Coaching only works if you go to where the agent is. If the agent can't use the phone, don't teach them scripts. If the agent knows technology, teach them .coms and forwarding and IP addresses and that sort of stuff. So a good coach will find out where the team is, where the team's deficiencies are, and will fill the gaps. Some of these national places, it's their rhetoric, right? They go, you go my way. This is what you should do. Like we'll take, there's a referral coach. Call your people, call your people, call your people. I don't call my people. I put up something on Facebook, like a picture of me and my dog, right, with the Russell Realty Group or a Century 21 shirt, and you get 85 comments, right, that say, there's Evan, Evan's a realtor, Evan's North Reading, and they think about you just the same. So let me just fast forward a little bit. One of the things, one of my biggest pet peeves, we're being real, okay?
Okay, be real.
Okay.
Tell it like it is.
My biggest pet peeve is when a realtor puts up their 5-star review.
Why? I do that.
When's the last time a plumber did that?
Well,
When's the last time a roofer did that?
people need plumbers and realtors. Plumbers and roofers because there's much less of them. Come on, we're a dime a dozen. It's about the professionals that really come on top.
Okay, so what would you rather do? Would you rather put up something that says how great you are? Or would you rather put up an item of value that someone can relate to and engage with? If you compare my post with my shirt on, with my dog, and my 85 comments to your post that says Peggy was the greatest, the engagement is on my dog all day long.
Got it.
And people, they don't read the 5-star review. What do they say? Evan was great. He listened to me the whole
What about
time.
testimonials, Evan? What about videos of your clients and testimonials?
I think if you do a video from a person, that's cool. I think the real satisfied 5-star review stuff, I think that's kind of overplayed. I think people don't know what else to post. They don't know how to post like we talked about. Your value in Everett, Massachusetts has changed. Go to everetthomevalues.com, a specific page with a specific .com that gives you specific information, which is an item value that you want, is going to drive you business more than look how great I am. Because the truth of the matter is the reviews most times come from the seller side. And the fact of the matter is the buyer agent negotiated $20,000 over, not us. We put the price at $500. The buyer talked to his buyer agent and went $520. And you say, look what I did. I sold at $20,000 over asking price. No, you didn't. You took the offer. The buyer agent convinced the person to offer $520. So here we're taking, it's $100,000 over asking price. That's the buyer agent's doing. That's not our doing. It'd be different if we listed at $700 and sold it at $700 and say, we got the appraisal $100,000 more than it should have been. Okay, then pat yourself on the back. But if you put the listing up at $500, professional pictures, floor plan, video.com, and someone came in and offered you $550, that's on the buyer agent.
No more iPhone pictures, please. Anyone who's watching this is ridiculous.
That is awful. And the other thing that's awful is every single person at every single company, Century 21, boom, 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 are given some level of website. That website of some level has an IDX search, which means you can search the MLS. So if you get a listing, why would you not wait 20 minutes for your site to refresh and point the social media post to your brand new listing on your page? Why would you go into MLS and do the MLS share link that has no contact information at all? Why would you do that? Because you're uneducated, you're not tech savvy, you're not doing what you should do for your client, and you're charging them max amount, and that's why the clients hate us. Because you're charging them 5% and you can't even point to your own website.
Evan, this is the hard truth. This is what I love about Evan Unplugged. You tell it like it is to the industry. I mean, we all of us should adhere to certain industry standards, and unfortunately, a lot of these the people don't. And I'm not talking just about people that are new in the business. So, there are some repeat offenders that have been selling real estate for 30 years now. I still don't know how they're doing it, but I really appreciate you coming on here, telling us your tips, telling us the hard truth, telling us how it is. Last question. How do you, Evan, view the future of real estate? Should we all be scared? Is there going to be a huge disruption like everyone says in our industry? What are your thoughts?
How much time do I have?
Under 1 minute. No, what's going to happen in real estate?
I think, check this out. If you're a buyer agent and you don't have Zillow on your phone, the app, if you don't have Redfin on your phone, the app, if you don't have your own app, your clients do. And your clients know that. And if you're not up with the times and you can't, because I have buyers, they send me Zillow all the time, right?
That's what they use.
Look at this. If you don't understand how that works, if you can't explain a Zestimate, if you can't go into a listing appointment and you think your professional, by the way, I don't ever bring a price into a CMA, right? I bring comps. I don't ever bring a price. I'll never box myself in. But you always look at the Zestimate. Because if you walk in and you say, hey, Peggy, what do you think you want to get for the house? They're going to say what Zillow says. Well, I think it's worth $680. Well, how'd you get them? Well, that's what Zillow says. If you don't know that, so the answer to your question is, if you're not up with the tech, if you're not up with the times changing, if you can't think of a strategy better than, if you know anybody buying or selling, give me a call, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. And if you can't sit a buyer down with the new lawsuit we talked about, if you can't sit a buyer down and explain your value or how you're gonna manufacture a way that you get paid to help them, you're gonna lose. It's simple as that. And if you can't get engaged to your own company's free website, you can't get engaged with the. I mean, you're paying some of us, not all of us. Some of us paying franchise fees. Most of us paying franchise fees.
Yeah.
That's what the stuff. That's what the system is.
They don't use the tools.
Use the tools, and they're so easy to use. I mean, they're idiot proof.
You're just a wealth of knowledge, Evan. Thank you for your time here on Sin Permiso. I wanted to do this podcast, the do's and don'ts. I wanted to talk about Real Estate Unplugged. I appreciate your time. Keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome. It's been fun. Thank you very much, Peggy.
Thank you.
You got it.